Brave Bird secures the knockout, back out comes Exeggutor, one Dragon Tail, secures the knockout, only Swampert remains, double weak to grass, but you've got to hit him with that Draco, bang! There it is. Welcome back to the channel. Yes, I'm aware, uploads have been inconsistent, but today we are back at it with an incredible battle submission from my friend Khaos. Khaos quite literally living up to his name, causing absolute chaos in the Summer Cup with the NUKE squad. We've got Shadow Exeggutor on the lead, double fire in the back, featuring Alolan Marowak and Shadow Typhlosion. Need I say more? Without any further ado, let's get into the battles. And in game one, Khaos leads this giant tree that literally doesn't fit on the screen into Raikou. Raikou not going to appreciate this Dragon Tail damage. The opponent builds up some energy and say switch into Obstagoon. Khaos fires off the Seed Bomb, looking for some chip and dip action. The opponent petrified of this giant tree, and quite literally, why wouldn't you be? Who sees Exeggutor ever? And it looks like it's something that hit pretty hard. Seed Bomb has been buffed, although it wouldn't have done all that much damage. We then say switch into Typhlosion, farm up to the Blast Burn bait with the Thunder Punch. The opponent putting up shields left, right, and center. Khaos now finds himself in a situation where he's got shield advantage for his Shadow Tree. Back out comes the tree, and you already know it's time to Draco the shit out of something. The opponent looked to force the final Protect Shield, sending back out Raikou. Khaos obliges, putting up that protection. The opponent fires off the Wild Charge, debuffing their own defense. Exeggutor gets the Dragon Tail farm down. The opponent's final Pokemon is Quagsire. It's going to be straight in and straight out. Draco secures the one-hit KO, and that is going to be all she wrote. In the next battle, we see the Kentucky Fried Chicken, Bird of Death. This one is running Fire Spin. Legacy Incinerate is objectively better. It is the only 4 damage, 4 energy move in the game, although it is quite clunky. Khaos say switches into Alolan Marowak. A Pokemon Zyonik calls the Goat, forces protection with a Shadow Bone, and the opponent hard punishes us with Wish Daddy Cash. Khaos builds up to the Shadow Bone bait with the Bone Club. The opponent showed no respect, and rightfully so, as Bone Club is by far one of the worst moves in the game. Marowak happens to be the unfortunate owner of the worst move in the game, in my opinion, Flame Wheel. However, got distracted, so returning to the commentary, Khaos sent back at Exeggutor, builds up some energy, sends out Typhlosion, getting a running start. The opponent sends back out Talonflame. Talonflame not going to appreciate this season's move update, as Thunder Punch is going to be very threatening. The opponent baits with the Flame Charge, but no bait. We'll be saving this opponent's fate. We fire off the Thunder Punch, forcing the opponent's final Protect Shield. Have a Typhlosion, super spammy. Reach the second Thunder Punch. You know what time it is. Get that Talonflame off my screen. Out comes the Flying Banana Tree Tropius, running Razor Leaf, and this is so over. Khaos has the Blast Burn, opts not to throw it. He's looking for the Draco. Boom. Leaf Blade secures the knockout. Back out comes Exeggutor. Draco. Going to be massive overkill, but we're going to be able to take that game. GG's, and thanks for playing. Heading into the next battle, we lead the Giant Tree into Pidgeot. Due to our grass typing, this is not a great matchup. We say switch into Marowak, and the opponent sends out Greninja. Hard losing lead and hard punished on the say switch. I've got no idea why you'd shield a Bone Club, but we're going to take any advantage we can possibly get. I think if the opponent gets the boost here, Greninja would 1v3 the team. However, the opponent actually looks to play it safe, fires off the Hydro Cannon, guaranteeing the knockout. We send back out Exeggutor. Even non-boosted Exeggutor, insanely glassy. Didn't appreciate the Night Slash. Speaking of the boost, there is the boost. We see the instant shield deployed from Khaos, blocking up the incoming Night Slash. We then see the aggressive pivot into Typhlosion once again, getting a running start. The opponent's final Pokemon is the very annoying Marshmallow. Khaos farms up to the Blast Burn baits with the Thunder Punch, forcing the opponent's final Protect Shield, and WinCon has arose. If we can get a Draco ready for this Pidgeot, we might be in business. We fire off the Thunder Punch. Khaos looking to leave some farm on this Marshmallow. We send back at Exeggutor. Get denied. Niantic, please fix this fucking game. We then get debuffed with the Ice Wind. The opponent sends out Pidgeot, and we're going to take a heartbreaking loss. GG's to that opponent. In the next battle, dreadful lead. We see the say switch into Typhlosion. Trainer, you need to pivot. I thought I was one of the only idiots that had this thing maxed out all the way to level 50. You can see Ledian has insane bulk, although the opponent spent 600,000 Stardust on a Pokemon and then completely sacked it, but evidently they are triple weak to fire. Holy moly. Typhlosion fires off the Blast Burn. Spinder not going to appreciate the damage, and the opponent is going to lose one of the strangest matches I have ever seen, so we're going to move swiftly on. In the next battle, our fortunes have reversed as we pick up a fantastic lead. The opponent say switches into the own Alolan Marowak. We get off some Dragon Tail damage before save switching into Typhlosion. Khaos correctly shields up the incoming Shadow Bone and returns fire with the Thunder Punch. Thunder Punch goes unshielded and secures the knockout. This Swampert has potentially got Sludge Wave, a move that I'd personally run in both this cup and the Open Great League. The opponent invests the Protect Shield, blocking up the incoming Thunder Punch, and this is why you need to count. We didn't have the energy for a Solar Beam, and Swampert could have easily tanked a non-stab Thunder Punch. We send back out Exeggutor, bank the Draco for the road, and send out Marowak. Marowak with 1 Protect Shield, 2 hide behind. Invests it here. The opponent full sends the Brave Bird. Marowak now can easily just fire off a Bone Club as the opponent has heavily lowered their own defense. Bone Club forces the opponent's final Protect Shield. Brave Bird, gonna be massive overkill, but Exeggutor gonna be able to come in. 1 Dragon Tail secures the knockout. Swampert, double weak to grass, but we've got the Draco locked and loaded, so why not hit him with that bang? There it is, and Khaos picks up the dub. In the next battle, we lead our Giant Tree into something that looks like Winnie the Pooh, the big thick boy Snorlax. Khaos builds up some energy and makes a very nice body slam catch onto Typhlosion. I personally would have looked to catch on Marowak as Ghost does double resist normal, but we're going to let Khaos cook. Khaos farms up to the Thunder Punch, looking to apply some early shield pressure. Thunder Punch does force the opponent's first Protect Shield, and the opponent even looks to dump energy. We see the instant no shield deployed. Khaos says, Typhlosion, thank you very much for your contribution. We see Khaos smartly waiting out his timer, as he is going to be the only trainer that's switch locked in this battle, as the opponent is yet to switch. We send back out Exeggutor over farm before firing off the Seed Bomb. Seed Bomb, of course, secures the knockout on the low health Snorlax. Out comes Ivysaur trainer. We double resist grass. The opponent must have misclicked, as they then pivot into Raichu. The Dragon Tails get the thing below half health, and then we send out Marowak, and this is already looking like game over. Khaos still with both Protect Shields in tow. Last second, invest the Protect Shield, blocking up the incoming Thunder Punch. We then commit to the Fire Spin farm down. Ivysaur has a pretty poor matchup into the remainder of our team. We fire off the Shadow Bone, which forces the opponent's final Protect Shield. It looks like we're going to get to land another big Draco boom again. Khaos had the Shadow Bone, opted not to throw it back out. Comes Exeggutor, and poor Ivysaur is about to get vanquished back to its Pokeball. GG's, and thanks for playing. In the next battle, we see Poliwrath, despite typing advantage. Hold that thought. I was going to say it isn't going to be the best matchup if they are running Legacy Counter, due to them having access to both Icy Wind and Ice Punch. This opponent's actually running Bubble. Don't do that. Even if you don't want to invest Elite TM into Counter, use Mud Shot. It's objectively better at generating energy. If you're really stubborn and you want a Bubble user, I'd recommend Azumarill or perhaps Ludicolo, as it has the ability to beat other water types due to its unique Water Grass typing. The opponent sent out Victini. Khaos invest both protections, looking to maintain the very positive alignment, and out comes Ninetales. It's double fire strategy versus double fire strategy. Khaos forces the final Protect Shield with the Bone Club, then overfarms a bit too much, playing to the CMP tie. He does not win. Shout out Home Size Henry for that quote, and it's now all shields down. Khaos does need to be mindful that Cantonian Ninetales does have access to Scorching Sands. However, this opponent doesn't build up to they fire off the Weather Ball. We then see the opponent pause a turn, making a very nice catch back onto Poliwrath, but Poliwrath not going to appreciate the Thunder Punch. Thunder Punch gets him low. We snipe with Exeggutor. We're one Dragon Tail away from the Draco, and we already know that Draco gonna be that one-hit KO. GG's, and thanks for playing. In the next battle, we see Sunshine Cherrim in the lead. We see the instant pivot into Typhlosion. The opponent answers our Typhlosion save switch with Shadow Swampert. As this is Shadow on Shadow Crime, this isn't the worst matchup, as Blast Burn is going to do a lot of damage. We force the opponent's first protection. The opponent continuing to overfarm, allowing us to reach the second Blast Burn. The second Blast Burn forces the opponent's final Protect Shield and its CMP. Typhlosion putting in so much work. Hydro Cannon easily secures the knockout. The opponent gives us a huge advantage by not throwing an optimal fast move timer. So if you're Swampert in this matchup, ideally you'd like to throw 2 Mud Shots or 7. That would be 4 turns into 5 turns, or 14 into 15. Although, speaking of which, the opponent lands the Sludge Wave boom, and it's 2 shield Marowak versus the Wild Marowak. Gets the Fire Spin farm down. Back out comes Cherrim. Cherrim opts to throw the non-stab Weather Ball fire, and Khaos says, I'm not respecting shit, Khaos. Then again, plays to the CMP tie, looking to fire off the Bone Club. Again, we see the no shield deployed. Weather Ball doesn't do too much damage. Khaos looking to fully undercharge and get even more energy. The opponent not wanting to get farmed down. Pivot out into the Kentucky Fried Chicken. Bird of Death. Khaos fires off the Shadow Bone. Shadow Bone rocks the opponent below half health. Khaos then settles for the Bone Club. Bone Club single resisted. I'm unsure if it knocks out Bone Club. Doesn't quite get the job done, but Khaos still with 2 Protect Shields. 2 high behind. Going to be able to easily shield up whatever the opponent throws. They fire off the Flame Charge, looking to vamp up their attack. And that is where you see the downside of Incinerate, as the fire spin registers before the boosted Incinerate, and we're able to take that game. In the next battle, we see the king of the Theme Cup, the cheeky little monkey Vigoroth. Khaos says no thank you, say switches into Typhlosion. The opponent forces himself early shield advantage and hard punish us with the silly electric fish. Despite Typhlosion having access to Thunder Punch this season, Lantern very tick and able to tank 2 easily. The opponent tanks both. They then continue to farm up energy, allowing Typhlosion to reach the 3rd Thunder Punch. The opponent not even interested in switch advantage, completely sack Lantern. Typhlosion is a Lantern counter confirmed. You heard it here first, back out. Comes Vigoroth, and then we see the savage double resisted body slam catch back onto Marowak. Let's fucking go. Despite Khaos doing his best, pulling off all the shenanigans, this looks like a loss. As the opponent's running double water, we've got double fire. Pelipper very good into both Marowak and Exeggutor. We tank the Weather Wall return fire with the Shadow Bone. I think our only win con was the opponent looking to 2 shield flex, which they didn't do. This game isn't quite over. We need to either correctly shield the Hurricane or call the bait. Khaos shields up the Hurricane. Okay. Can we get the Dragon Tail farm down? This is only a Weather Ball, which is double resisted. Weather Ball doesn't quite get the job done. Back out comes Vigoroth. Do we have the double Seed Bomb? The first Seed Bomb forces the Protect Shield. And even if we did have the double, the counter goes through, securing the knockout. We do take a loss, but I think Khaos made that as close as he possibly could. In the next battle, we see Linoon in the lead. We switch out into Typhlosion. This thing has access to Dig. Oof, which luckily they didn't throw. I've got no idea why you'd throw Thunder at a tree, although in fairness, ground would also be resisted, so I guess it is what it is. Although on the off chance you are a Linoon user and you see an Exeggutor, I'd recommend Dig, as it is only single resisted, as only grass resists ground. Whereas both Dragon and Grass resist Electric, so that would have been the double resisted move, hence I was quite surprised. The opponent then sends out a Bullet Seed Greedent, the opponent looking for that Bullet Seed farm down, but Typhlosion refuses to die. The opponent invests both Protect Shields and lose switch advantage. Khaos now very much in the driver's seat in this final battle. Khaos sends back at Exeggutor, fires off 1 Dragon Tail and the Seed Bomb. Seed Bomb secures the knockout. The opponent's final Pokemon is Licky. Far too thicky, but Exeggutor about to put that bulk to the test. Khaos shields up the Body Slam, reaches for the Draco. Licky might think it's thick, but Licky, you sir, aren't going to be thick enough. Draco secures the knockout, and we take that game. Unfortunately, that is going to draw to a close today's showcase. I'm well aware I've been super inconsistent this season. However, I've had a lot going on. I've had a friend's birthday. I went away with the missus. Sometimes life does get in the way of things like content, especially when you're a small channel like me. And I essentially do this for free. However, regular uploads will commence shortly. So if you're enjoying the content, smash that like button. If you're new, consider subscribing. If you like your battles featured on my channel, link to battle submission form is down below. And as always, a huge thank you to everyone for watching. And I'll see you all in the next one.